following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism at Western Illinois University.
Sunday's winter storm brought lots of snow. What Macomb residents need to know about cleaning up after snowstorms ahead. And we're going to see a big change in the weather following the blizzard. See when we can expect warmer temperatures coming up in your forecast. And what authorities are saying about a local man who went missing during Sunday's blizzard. That and more right now on Live at 4.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
We begin with more information about the death of a Macomb man after Sunday's snowstorm. Good afternoon. Welcome to Live at 4. I'm Devin Brooks. 73-year-old John Schobel was reported missing Monday following the massive blizzard that tore through western Illinois. The Macomb Police Department says Schobel's body was found Tuesday afternoon. The cause of death was determined to be from exposure to freezing temperatures. The McDonough County Sheriff's Office says Schobel's family says he may have suffered from dementia and wandered into the storm. Well, the city of Macomb would like to remind community members of snow removal procedures. The city posted questions and answers on its Facebook page about snow removal. They would like to remind you that the city plows all emergency routes. Once those are finished, the Public Works Department will plow secondary and residential streets. Residents are prohibited to park on snow routes after a snow emergency is declared or if snow exceeds 3 inches. Also, sidewalks are the responsibility of the property owner. Residents are expected to keep sidewalks as safe as possible. A new major development in the Mueller investigation. After more than 70 hours of questioning, Michael Cohen, President Trump's former personal attorney, has taken a plea deal. Omar Jimenez reports from Washington on what this means and how the president responded.
Michael Cohen, President Trump's former personal attorney, now admits he made false statements to Congress about the Russia investigation, specifically about a proposed Trump Tower project in Moscow and when exactly those discussions ended.
He's a weak person, and what he's trying to do is get a reduced sentence, so he's lying.
Court documents say Cohen attempted to conceal or minimize these facts, among others. Quote, the Moscow project was discussed multiple times within the company and did not end in January 2016. Instead, as late as approximately June 2016. That's after then-candidate Trump had become the presumed Republican nominee. Also, quote, Cohen agreed to travel to Russia in connection with the Moscow project and took steps in contemplation of individual one's possible travel to Russia. Individual one being Donald Trump.
I think there's more story to be told. If anything the president has said is true, that there's no there, why are all his closest associates being found guilty of lying about their ties to Russia?
And all of this comes a day after President Trump would not rule out a pardon for his former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, who's accused by Mueller's team of violating his plea agreement and lying to the special counsel. Meanwhile, Trump canceled his meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin at the G20 summit in Argentina, citing ongoing tensions in Ukraine. But, of course, the move comes in the direct aftermath of Cohen's guilty plea. In Washington, I'm Omar Jimenez.
In 2017, nearly 12% of Americans did not have enough food in their household to sustain an active, healthy lifestyle. That's according to the USDA. Here at WIU, 2 Western Illinois University employees decided they wanted to help combat the problem locally. News 3's Phil Giovanni reports.
Are you a member of the Leatherneck family? If so, then come on down to the WIU food pantry, located right next to Hanson Field. Each wall is packed with different foods and living necessities for those who may not always have the funds. The facility carries such items as baby food, vegetables, and plenty of canned goods. But the pantry volunteers say they are always in need of certain items such as peanut butter, cereal and pasta, rice, mac and cheese, snacks, and canned fruit. If you would like to bring food, head over to NOW Block 203. Each person that enters the pantry may take up to 10 pounds worth of food per person. For households with more, it is $15 for 2 people, then £5 for every extra person. The food pantry is open every Thursday from noon until 5, and now with new hours on Saturdays from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. For those who want to volunteer, fill out the form on the Purple Post and come to the bi-weekly meeting on Wednesdays next semester. Reporting for News 3, I'm Phil Giovanni.
The food pantry also accepts monetary donations. Each dollar donated provides 5 meals. You can mail cash donations to Emily Shoup at the address on your screen. Well, Santa Claus is coming to town this weekend, along with horse-drawn trolley rides, carolers, and other attractions to get you into the holiday spirit. Dickens on the Square is an annual event that takes place in downtown Macomb. The festivities begin on Friday and carry on through Saturday. On Friday night, you can greet Santa as he arrives at the train station around 6:15 p.m. From the train station, he will head to his cabin on the north side of the square to visit with children. But if it rains, visits with Santa will be held at the Western Illinois Museum. On Saturday, you can eat breakfast at the museum, and Santa will be back to visit at 11 a.m. Well, enjoy some holiday-themed choral and instrumental music this weekend as well. The first Holiday Festival of Music is this Saturday in the College of Fine Arts and Communication Recital Hall at 2 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. The event features WIU School of Music ensembles and many guests from the WIU and Macomb community. Tickets are free for WIU students and $10 for guests. They can be purchased through Handline Theater box office as well as online at westernpresents.com. Well, coming up next on Live at 4, the life expectancy rate in America has declined, but the reasons for it are probably not what you expect. Find out the reason behind this decline when we come back.
National Broadcasting Society helps the future of broadcasting get the tools needed to succeed in an ever-growing media world. At Western Illinois University, the professional connections students bring to our chapter of NBS have opened doors to networking possibilities that students otherwise wouldn't have. The opportunities we are given as students at WIU allow us to make connections today for success tomorrow.
They gave me Vicodin after my knee surgery. They kept prescribing it, so I kept taking it. I didn't know it would be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
I chose Western Illinois University because I could get involved right away. You're going to gain experience. I'm going to be able to just become successful right out the gate. I'll be a news reporter and eventually become a news anchor one day. I've always felt that as a strong speaker, I could be a voice for the voiceless, but as long as I continue to believe in myself, work hard, and show that I want to put my best foot forward, I think that anything is possible.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. Live at 4 continues.
Welcome back. Life expectancy in the United States declined from 2016 to 2017. According to a new report, the increase in 2 preventable causes is to blame. Meredith Wood explains in today's Health Minute.
A stark report from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Increases in drug overdose deaths and suicides caused life expectancy rates to drop in the U.S. in 2017. According to the CDC's National Center for Health Statistics, overdose deaths reached a new high in 2017, topping 70,000, almost quadrupling the rate from 1999. Also in 2017, the suicide rate increased 3.7% over the year before. This dropped the average life expectancy age from 78.7 in 2016 to 78.6 for those born in the U.S. last year. Even with these increases, the CDC says the top 10 leading causes of death last year remain unchanged. They are heart disease, cancer, unintentional injuries, chronic lower respiratory diseases, stroke, Alzheimer's, diabetes, the flu and pneumonia, kidney disease, and suicide. They account for almost 3/4 of all deaths across the country. Still, the CDC director says the increased number of those dying from preventable conditions should be a, quote, wake-up call for the whole country. For today's Health Minute, I'm Meredith Wood.
In news around the state, the statewide legal age to buy tobacco products stays at 18 after Governor Rauner vetoed a bill to increase it. Many Illinois lawmakers voted to raise the age minimum to 21 to encourage young adults to avoid smoking and its health risks. Rauner says that raising the age could push people to buy products from unlicensed vendors or neighboring states. A new car seat law will soon go into effect in the state. Children will soon be required to ride rear-facing in vehicles starting January 1st, 2019. According to IDOT, rear-facing car seats reduce serious injuries to children by 92%. This new car seat law is a requirement for children under the age of 2. Parents or guardians must provide the restraint and are responsible for properly securing children under 8 years old. IDOT is reminding drivers to buckle up and drive safe. Well, according to HIV.gov, more than 1.1 million people in the U.S. are living with HIV, and 1 in 7 of them don't know it. World AIDS Day is November 30th, and WIU is providing free rapid testing for students and others. Participants can interact with displays about the impact of HIV and AIDS. They may also view the film Positive Youth at 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 p.m., and 1 p.m. The event is located in the Capitol Room lobby in the Student Union from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. Well, an Iowa man is speaking out after crashing his car into a freezing pond. He says he's lucky to be alive even though he doesn't remember a thing about the accident. Hannon Hilliard reports.
Even cooped up in the hospital, Michael Kennedy can't hide his smile.
A week after Thanksgiving here, I'm just probably more thankful than I've ever been.
Thankful to be alive. He says Monday he was on his way to the gym.
I left my work parking lot at about 11:40, and the next thing I remember was waking up in an ambulance.
The first responders filling in that large gap for him.
And they told me that right away, that I had had a seizure and that I was drove into a pond.
Unconscious, he was trapped in his car. Emergency crews had to brave the cold temperatures to get him out, and they did.
That was quite the phone call to get.
Once alert, he immediately called his fiancée, Jody Lindbergh.
He kind of said the pond thing kind of as an afterthought, and then my first thought was he probably should have led with that.
Once settled at the hospital, the two of them watched all the coverage, seeing his car sit hood first in the pond.
I drive it everywhere, and there it is in a pond, you know, on TV, you know, so that's just surreal.
Which is why they have a simple message to all of those involved in his rescue, including the brave actions of the police sergeant who jumped in without any protective gear on.
Biggest thing is just thankful, so thankful for the first responders, the passersby that helped me out, and I realized how grave that situation could have been.
It just helps us realize how quickly things could change.
Putting a whole new meaning behind their week-old engagement.
I told her it'd be exciting.
Yeah, it's always been exciting.
Well, more snow and rain is on the way for the Macomb area. We'll tell you how that will affect your weekend plans next in weather.
I started to think about doing broadcasting my freshman year. I started calling some football games for the freshman football team. My high school didn't really have a broadcasting program like some do, and so a lot of my stuff was just PA for different sports, for basketball, for volleyball. And my mom signed me up for a visit to come to Western on a Discover Western day. And I walked through the doors of the rec center, and Buzz Hoon shook my hand and said, "Zach Stone, I've seen all your footage, I know who you are, and you belong here." And that's what really makes WIU feel like home.
Disaster tips from the objects left behind. My home wasn't insured, but you can check your insurance policy now to make sure you're covered. Oh.
My savings are lost, but you can put money aside and plan for unexpected disaster costs.
We're lost forever, but you can scan important documents now so they survive.
For more tips on how to prepare, visit ready.gov.
The first time I met Morris, the door flew open and I got this larger-than-life personality talking at the top of his lungs.
Hey, how you doing today?
Oh man, oh, I totally forgot. Hold on, let me get this for you. Oh, just had a magnetic energy. So I thought, all right, we're definitely gonna be friends.
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
America, let's do lunch!
Why I love to do sports anchoring? Because, I mean, it's talking about sports. I decided to come to Western because I wanted an experience that wasn't like some other schools. I did color commentary for one volleyball game. I was terrified. I never did any broadcasting in high school, but when I was talking, it was all, you know, staggered, and I had no idea what I was saying. And now I've done so many different games as a color commentator, play-by-play, now sports anchor. Every show and every game, it gets easier and easier, and I get more comfortable doing it.
Welcome back, Macomb. Currently outside right now, we're seeing temperatures around 32 degrees. It was sprinkling a little bit on my way over to the studio. Dew point right now is 28 degrees, and as our temperatures start lowering and getting closer to our dew point, there is a potential to see some fog later on this afternoon. Looking at our average temperatures for this time of year, we are well below our 43 degrees that we normally see. Our average low right now is about 24 degrees. Our record high, 74 degrees. That would be nice today. And our record low is -1 degrees. Looking at our surface map here, we're seeing a low pressure system that's going to start pushing a little bit of this wintry mix up in the Iowa area. And also this low pressure system down south is going to start pushing this other one up out of the area, which is going to bring us some warmer temperatures, but we'll get to that in a minute. Right now we're seeing some clouds moving into the area, which is giving us that little bit of sprinkle, but we're not going to see much more beyond that. Here's the rain I was talking about, just a little bit in the Macomb area, moving across Iowa into Macomb. Looking at right now, our temperatures in Macomb are 32 degrees, Peoria 36, and Keokuk 34 degrees. 23 degrees in Macomb, Quincy 25, and Peoria 28. Looking at tomorrow, we're going to have 36 degrees, Keokuk 38 degrees, and Quincy, we're going to see a little bit of a higher temperature in the lower part of our viewing area, 42 degrees there and 43 actually in Springfield. Looking at tomorrow night, Macomb, we're going to have 32 degrees, Beardstown 35 degrees, Bloomington 35 degrees as well. Tonight we're going to see temperatures around a low 23 degrees, winds north at 5 miles an hour. And tonight, for tomorrow, we're going to see cloudy with some PM temperature or PM showers with a low of 32 degrees. With that, there could be a potential of some wintry mix with that. Again, it's just a potential. We don't know for sure if there's going to be some rain or snow with that, rain or snow. But with it being that close to freezing temperatures, there could be a potential for that. Looking at tomorrow, we're going to see a high of 36 degrees, low of 32. Into the weekend, we're going to have our temperatures go up a little bit. Saturday, 49 degrees, low of 36. Sunday, high of 39, low of 29. Monday, 35 degrees and cloudy, 25 degrees as a low. Tuesday, 29 degrees and a low of 21 on Tuesday.
So this weather's still everywhere.
It is all over the place.
Yeah.
I was looking at the maps earlier, and I was actually looking it up all the way till I started, and looking at those two pressure systems, that you just don't know what's going to happen. It's crazy.
Yeah, all right. Well, thanks, Jared. Well, for sports, we got Brendan Reedy here, which big sportscaster on campus.
Oh, yeah. Sports is the best part. Western Illinois men's basketball team returned home after a 3-game road trip to take on the Cougars of SIUE. After the break, see how a WIU player is now leading the nation in blocks after last night's contest.
I learned broadcasting for 3 years in high school, so
Towards my senior year, I was pretty much invested in wanting to pursue a career, and I do enjoy it now, but I'm searching for a way to make sure that it's something that I want to pursue after college. That way, I'll be able to wake up every day and say, this is something I want to do, this is something that I love, this is something that I can teach, I can spread, I can affect people with.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
I was living in a shelter, juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
The Western Illinois Fighting Leathernecks were coming off a 3-game losing skid entering last night's matchup against SIUE. The 1-3 Cougars rolled into town to take on the 2-4 Leathernecks. Both teams are off to rocky starts to the season, and we're looking to get back into the win column yesterday at Western Hall. Didn't take long for the Leathernecks to get rolling as Isaac Johnson drills a 3-pointer to get Western off to a 5-0 lead early on. Gilbeck finds the hot hand in Johnson and keeps scorching the net as he hits his second 3-pointer of the half. Webster finding his groove as he hits back-to-back shots with one from beyond the arc. Gilbeck, attracting defenders, kicks out to Duff, who nails a 3-point jump shot. And on the defensive side, it was all Brandon Gilbeck, blocking shot after shot, sending them sailing into the crowd. He finished with 6 blocks in the contest. I know it's Shoot Your Shot 2018, but Cougars were sent packing almost every time they entered the paint. I mean, look at this. Just absolute dominance in the paint. You can see why he's now the nation leader in blocks per contest. Second half, the Leathernecks picked off right where they left off. The freshman and former Mr. Basketball of Kansas connects on back-to-back trays to get the offense rolling. But it was the duo of sophomores that finished off the Cougars. Kobe Webster knocking down a pull-up jumper, extending the lead. Next play, Webster heaves a pass to Johnson down the court and goes up strong to finish off the fast break layup. Not much of a contest inside Western Hall as the Leathernecks walk away with a victory in dominating fashion, defeating the Cougars 83-58. The Western Illinois #All-In Player of the Game was awarded to Kobe Webster, who finished the game with 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. Things are definitely looking up for the men's basketball team this season. Let's take a look at their upcoming matchup. The men's team will travel to SEMO on Saturday to take on the Redhawks at 6:30 p.m. SEMO is currently 4-3 on the year and are led by Ladarius Brewer, who is the leading scorer with 13 points per contest. The Redhawks are currently undefeated at home. It will be a tough test for Western Illinois. The Leathernecks will be looking to not only extend their win streak going into the matchup, but will also be looking to get their first road win since February 8th, 2017. If they want to end that drought, they will have to follow the leadership of the sophomore duo of Isaac Johnson and Kobe Webster, the 2 leading scorers for the squad this season. The women's basketball team has had a tough start to the season, starting off 2-5. However, the level of competition they have played so far this season has been superb. You talk about teams like Missouri, Butler, and Purdue, just to name a few, are making the NCAA tournament almost every year. With the toughest part of their schedule out of the way, they will host Austin Peay this Sunday at 4:30 p.m. The Leathernecks will look to build off their victory against William Woods and try to string together some much-needed wins. And on Tuesday, they will travel to Peoria to face off against Bradley at 11:30 a.m. They will look to follow the lead of senior Taylor Higginbotham, who is averaging 11 points per contest. The more involved she is in the offense, the more successful the team will be in the upcoming matchups. Now with high school sports, the Macomb Bombers men's basketball team is underway. The Bombers started off the season 0-2 with losses coming on the road from Jacksonville High School and Morin High School. They'll stay on the road for their third matchup of the season against Quincy Notre Dame Raiders this Saturday. QND is currently 1-1 on the season and are coming off a victory against Diet High School. It should be a good one down in Quincy as the Bombers look to notch their first win of the season. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. at Quincy Notre Dame. That's sports, but coming up after the break, find out how much a broadcasting alum won on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
All right, so everybody's been wondering on the story we brought you on Tuesday. Broadcast Mario Calero made it all the way to the $30,000 question before being knocked back to $5,000. The broadcasting and journalism department had a great time watching and rooting for him. So congratulations, Mario. I would just say he made way more money than I would ever get.
Oh, yeah, he made it way farther than I would, Devin. I mean, I'm not the smartest one in the bunch. I'll stick to sports.
Well, those questions, I didn't know any of that.
I mean, I'd take $5,000.
Yeah, I'd take $5,000 just to be on TV.
I know, or just the 30, right? All right, what's the weather?
So, again, looking at the 5-day forecast here, looking at Friday, I apologize for a little bit of the graphic error. Friday, there is supposed to be some PM showers. But with that, again, with that low of 32, there is a chance that there could be a wintry mix in there. And it's just a rainy weekend. We are seeing a high near in the 40s for the rest of the weekend, and is going to come back down to the cooler temperatures as our week begins.
This weather is all over the place.
Yes, it is.
Well, that's all for us today, but we are online all the time. Stay up to date with us, news3wyu.com. Like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. Just search our handle, news3wyu. You can also search for us on YouTube and subscribe.
Thank you for joining us this evening.
From all of us here at News 3, good night, Macomb.